garage, man. Today I am finally getting my lazy ass working on this damn DA. We left off messing with the fenders. I have his OEM passenger side fender here, and this is the sort of fit one that we bought. Now whenever we test fit this up to the car, we weren't necessarily capable of like test fitting it and mating it up to the door, because you guys know the doors weren't on. So the problem we're having is whenever I put it up, whenever we try to bolt it up on the car, it's not meeting up to the door correctly in this area. So I've already kind of massaged it a little bit before I pulled the camera out, but I was looking at the factory one and this one side by side, and it looks to me like this one has a little bit less of an aggressive slope, where this one was just a little bit more rounded. It almost kind of rounded and like seemed like it was coming back in, you know what I'm saying? So that would definitely explain the problem that we're having and the weird bulge right here. So basically what I'm doing is just trying to be careful with it, and I'm just like kind of pulling on this section outwards that way while pushing down on this section in like this area here, trying not to crease it or crack the paint, of course. That's the one thing that sucks about doing this kind of stuff, and not getting the body and everything assembled and then taking it apart and painting it, because we got the fender after we had already taken the car apart, you know what I'm saying? So realistically we should have put the door back on and then test fit the fender and then did all this massaging and stuff before paint, you know what I'm saying? But it's just so much added work to put the doors back on, line them back up just to line up a fender. But the thing is, trying to get this right, if I end up messing the paint up, that means I'm going to end up having to repaint this. So that would be what you'd be avoiding by doing that little bit of extra work. Anyhow, I'm going to continue trying to just gently massage this heavy curve out of the fender. I just got to get it to be a little bit more subtle, then test fit it again and go back and forth. Just keep messing with it. Look at these two out here enjoying the grass. That's Toby's son, by the way. There's a puppy that we had a while back. Well, it was a litter from a while back, and then we ended up keeping this one. But yeah, that's him. He's all grown up now. And that's Nina. What's up, Nina? Did I say your name? Of course we gotta say hi to Toby. Of course we gotta say hi to Toby. What's up, dude? Uh-oh, they're all coming. All right, hours later. Braven's actually home from school. Oh my God. I'll wait. Braven's actually home from school. It's been so damn long, and I've been over here messing with this damn fender. All right, I'm not gonna lie, dude. I am now a believer in the whole sort of fit thing. I've bought them before and I've never had like issues, but I think that I've just gotten a better eye for things over the years. Like this fender, like lines up perfect. It's an OEM fender, bro. Like look right here, like how everything lines up, and it's perfect, man. Everything's flush. It's nice. I've literally put about 4 hours, I would say, in on this fender, and this is about as close as I can get it. But it drives me nuts, man, because the gap down here on the bottom is just ever so slightly bigger than up here at the top. I mean, it's not horrible, really. You wouldn't notice it unless I pointed it out like I just did. And then up here, it's just so much tighter against this like section of the chassis itself. Like I don't know, it's just not as satisfying as the OEM fender. Dude, it's good enough. I know I'm just being picky. It's just my OCD, bro. Like I want it to be dead on perfect. But I'm done with it, bro. I'm done. I think I've gotten it close enough. I don't know, I might mess with it more later, but my mind is just over it at this point. But anyhow, I'm gonna go around. Where's the tape? I need to go around and we're gonna mask the car off, basically the same way that we did whenever we were painting. We're gonna actually plastic off the front windshield, all the side windows, the sunroof, probably cover up the rear window. Basically just cover everything up once again, because I'm gonna start prepping this car to start wet sanding and get it all buffed and everything. And I just don't want the wax slinging around inside of the car and everything. Dude, I was telling Braven when he was putting the carpet and all this in here, I'm like, bro, I still gotta wax this thing. If you want to put all this stuff in here, we could wet sand, buff it, and then literally just pressure wash this whole thing out again. But no, now we gotta mask the whole thing off. All right, well, I haven't picked the camera up and said anything to you guys in a minute, but oh my God, my lens. Probably not the first time that's gonna happen when wet sanding. Anyhow, I got the car all completely masked off, all the edges and anywhere I don't want, like whenever we buff it to get, you know, we don't want the stuff flinging inside. But anyhow, I'm starting on this quarter panel. So as you can see, it's all really dull now. So basically what you're doing is you're wanting to get rid of orange peel. So as you can see, this area right here is all flat and smooth. And as you start to get further back here to an area I haven't gotten done, you can see all the orange peel just poking out at you. I hope I can pick this up on camera, man. Should be able to see that. So basically you see all those dots in there? That's all the high spots. And all the areas that the sandpaper is not reaching, those are low spots. So you want to get all that out. So we're looking for the whole thing to look like this, just all uniform. So as you start sanding, all this stuff will poke out at you, man. Like it'll pop right out at you. You'll be able to see it really well. So basically what I'm doing is just going over, I'm starting off with 1500, going over and sanding the area that I'm working on. But of course, while it's wet, you can't see what exactly is going on. When it's wet, just the whole thing is shiny. So I have a nice clean rag, which is dry, with me, and as I'm sanding, you go back and you dry the area. And as it dries, you can see your low spots and high spots. So yeah, that's basically what I gotta do to the whole entire freaking car, dude. And then obviously I have all the seams and everything taped off, because these are the areas that are easy. Hey, stop barking. I have all the seams and everything taped off because these are the areas that are really easy to burn through. So I'm gonna do these areas last. So after we get the whole car done, I'll come back and I'll peel the tape, and then I'll just take a piece of sandpaper by hand and just gently do the edges. So that's the idea. I'm not gonna record this whole process because we're gonna be out here for hours, man. I'll pick the camera up whenever we make some progress. We've been going at this for a couple of hours now. I got the 2 quarter panels, I got the passenger door, and I got the roof all done so far. Braven did the trunk. You knew where I was going with that, huh?
The trunk was difficult.
But you know what? Would probably be done if you give me your phone. Give me your phone.
I got you.
That's not your phone.
No. I need this.
Give me your phone. I'm putting it in the freaking house.
Yeah, put it in the freezer.
Anyhow, we're still going, man. I don't have high hopes of getting a whole lot done today. Like, this is just, dude, it's an hour, it's hours long process. Though I will say, once we get through the entire car with the 1500, because that's the hardest part, is getting all the orange peel all knocked down and smoothened out. I got 2000 and then 3000 grit, but those are just going to be a lot faster. It's going to be just kind of like skimming over it really quickly. That's just to kind of dull down the scratches from 15. So we go 15 to 2000 and then 3000. So the other two steps will go pretty fast. This one's going to take the longest because of course we're trying to get the car all smooth with the 1500 grit. But then we still got 2 steps of polishing to do. So yeah, it's gonna be an all-day freaking process. I'll probably be finishing this up tomorrow while Braven's at school. Alright, this entire side is all done with 1500. So this entire side around the back, the top, and I'm gonna start with 2000, and hopefully by the time I get all the way around the whole entire car, do you think you'll have this damn fender done?
I just started on it. Yeah.
Anyhow, I'm switching over to 2000 grit now. So yeah, this should go a lot faster than the 1500 did. Alright, so we have went through 1500 and 2000 grit now, and the body's pretty smooth. So we are working on getting off like the aggressive scratches from doing the wet sanding. Not a lot of people go all the way to 3000 grit, but for me, I like finishing with 3000 because it makes it a lot easier to buff. The less time that you spend buffing, the better, bro, because buffing, believe it or not, can be a lot more dangerous than sanding. That buffer will take paint off quick if you're not careful. So we're going around and peeling the tape off of all the edges, like all the edges that I wanted to protect whenever we're wet sanding, because going over with the 3000 grit, now I'm gonna go ahead and hit all these edges. I just didn't want to do all 3 steps on all these body lines because it's hard to tell how much material you're taking away on a body line. On the flat surfaces, like, it's really easy to see as the orange peel is disappearing, like you could see that. But on the flat edge, on these body lines and stuff, the orange peel like disappears immediately because how much more pressure is being applied because it's a bend. So that's what I do. I just protect all the edges until this 3000 grit stage, and then we'll peel all this tape off, and then it'll actually get wet sanded as well. Yeah, that's where we're at, man. And as you can see, the sun's going down. Yeah, I definitely don't have high hopes of finishing this today. I just don't want to buff the car in the dark, you know what I'm saying? So I want to have plenty of light so I can see what it is I'm doing and we don't make any mistakes. Trying not to have to respray anything. All right, moving on to the 3000 grit. What's really cool about this 3000 is it actually comes on a foam pad. So this is a foam pad itself. And another thing that's really cool is after, like, you guys will notice that the 3000 grit actually starts to bring the shine back to the paint. Like, it'll actually start getting shiny again with this because it's kind of like polishing it, bro. But yeah, like I said, it's gonna make it a lot easier whenever we actually start buffing this thing. So you see with all the tape peeled, now just the edges of everything is still shiny, but I'm gonna actually hit that with the 3000 grit right now. That's what I was talking about. Protected the whole entire body line right here because that's a really easy one to wear through. Obviously the edge of the door and the fender up here, like all these areas, they're still shiny, because they haven't been sanded because we had them taped off and protected. Now they're gonna get hit with 3000 grit. See that shine? That is after 3000 grit, and that is before doing any kind of buffing whatsoever. That's not wet right there, that's dry, so you know. So that is pretty much it, man. We got all the way through to 3000 grit, like, and as you can see, the shine is coming back to the paint. So that's why I like finishing off with 3000. So now it's going to be just that much easier to actually buff this car out. But unfortunately, like I said, I don't want to do that in the dark. So I'm going to start on that tomorrow morning whenever I drop Braven off at school. I'll come back and get cracking on this thing before it gets too warm outside. Not to mention, we are getting lit up by freaking mosquitoes right now. So we are retreating into the damn house.